Hello students, welcome back. We are continuing our motion chapter. So the first part, which is about motion in one dimension, already we have learned. So in this video, we are learning the motion in two dimension, which is also called motion in a plane. And the best example of the motion in two dimensions is what projectile motion. So mainly in this topic, we'll talk about projectile motion. Okay. So let's talk first. What is a projectile actually? Okay. Let's learn this term projectile. Okay. What is a projectile? If you throw some object in air, okay, or in space, then suppose it moves under the influence of only gravity force, then this is called a projectile. So I'm writing like any object moving in space under influence of only what? Gravitational force. No other force is acting on this, right? Only gravitational force act, then this object is called a projectile. Listen carefully. You can also say that any object moving in space without power, it should not have its own internal power. No internal power, keep in mind, okay? Yes. Once you have thrown in space, there should be what? No internal power, then it will move. This object will be called a projectile. And how it moves always in a parabolic path. This will prove when we do some calculation, we'll see that the projectile's path is always parabolic in nature. So look here, anything moving in the air under the influence of only what gravitational force, that object is called a projectile. Okay, yeah, and it should not have any internal power. For example, okay, who are the like projectile? Stone you throw in air, right? Now, stone thrown in air. You throw a stone in air, it will behave like a projectile. It will be called a projectile, or you can talk like bullet fired from a gun. Like this will also move like a projectile, or they are called what projectile, right? Once you throw them in air, they don't have their own power, right? They moves under the influence of only gravitational force. There is only one force acting. That's called what? Gravity force. Then who are not projectile? Not projectile. Look here. Your rocket moving in air, your airplane, missiles. These are not projectiles. Keep in mind because they have internal power. They have engines and engines working, so they are generating power. So that doesn't move under the influence of only gravitational force. Other forces are also acting there. Okay, so these are not projectile. Keep in mind they are not projectile. Who are projectile? These things are projectile. Okay, like stone you throwing in air, bullet you firing in air. They should not have their internal power. Okay, correct. So in this topic, what we learn? We will learn two type of projectile motion. Okay, so two type we will talk. I just can write summary here. Then we'll talk one by one. So first is called what? Oblique. Oblique also called what? Ground to ground. What you do? You throw an object like a stone or bullet from the ground. This is suppose ground you throw at some angle with horizontal, not towards the horizontal, not straight vertical because these two motion becomes what one dimension. You should throw like that way. Okay, then it will land like on ground like this way. Right? So this is called oblique projectile motion. Then a simple case of this is called what? Horizontal projectile motion. Correct? Horizontal project. Here, what you do? We go to some height. Yes, we go to tower and we throw a ball horizontally or stone project. It will fall like this way. So this is called what is horizontal projectile motion. So we have two types, oblique and what? Horizontal projectile motion. We'll talk one by one about them. Okay. So let's talk first oblique projectile motion. Okay. Yes. So we're learning the first case that's called your oblique projectile motion. Let's write heading oblique project. You can write full name oblique projectile motion. Okay, so what happens? Look here, this is your coordinate I'm drawing, y and x. Okay, what you do, you throw an object like a stone or a bullet with some initial velocity like this and make an angle of what? Theta with what? Your horizontal. So your theta is called what? Angle of projection. It's called angle of projection, right? So this angle generally always we write with respect to what? Ground. With respect to what? Horizontal ground, right now? Yes. So when you launch this object with a velocity u, make an angle of theta with ground, this is called angle of projection. And u is called what? Your initial velocity, right now? Initial velocity. Then what will happen? This object will move like this in a parabolic path like this and it will what? Land here. Correct? Yes. So We are interested. It's looking like parabolic path. You want to prove that it's a parabolic path, and then we want to do some calculation. One calculation, this one, that this distance where it fall on the ground, that horizontal distance from point of projection to this is called point of landing, right now. That's called range. We represent by what R symbol. Then this is your what your maximum height achieved during this flight, right now. That we represent by capital H. You want to calculate time period of flight and these things. Okay. So actually, it's a two-dimensional motion. Suppose you throw straight upward, then it's one dimension straight horizontally. That also what your one-dimensional motion, right? So you're throwing at some angle with the ground, it becomes a two-dimension. So let's how to first we want to calculate the main equation of motion. How to represent the motion in two dimension. Okay. So what you do? You do is this thing. Look here. We divide this motion into what two component. This velocity initially you are breaking into two component. One vertical component, one will be horizontal component. So this vertical component, uh, let's call that u sine theta, right? That component. This will be what? U sine theta. And horizontal component will be called what? U cos theta, right? I had divided this two dimension motion into what? One dimension motion, right now. Okay. Now what we have to do? We have to write the same equation of motion that we learn in one dimension on both sides in vertical direction and what horizontal direction. Then we'll combine them to get the final answer. Okay. So here I'm writing x direction. Okay. And x direction what happening? Here I'm writing in y direction. So watch carefully. In x direction, as I told you already, your projectile moves under the influence of only one force. That's called what? Gravity force. So gravity forces act always what? In vertical direction, we know right now? Yes. So x direction, listen carefully, no force acting. Yeah, there is no force acting at all on what? X direction. Yes, but in y direction, see, gravity force is acting, right? Gravity force acting, right? Yes. So what happens in x direction? No force acting. Your f in x direction is what? Zero. No force act on this projectile in x direction. It means the acceleration in x direction is always what? Zero. Body will not accelerate in x direction. Clear? Okay. But you see in this side, gravity force is acting. Yes, gravity force is there. So acceleration will be there. Yes, acceleration is there. Let's call AY. That will be what? Minus G. We are throwing upward, so G is negative. That's the acceleration what? Y direction. No acceleration in X direction. And Y direction, we have what? Acceleration in vertical direction. Okay. Now listen carefully. Equations of motion only we want, right? So look here, what is initial velocity? Look here, initial velocity in x direction is what I'm writing once more. Ux is obviously u cos theta. This component of u along this direction is called initial velocity in x direction. Similarly, initial velocity in y direction is what your u sine theta. These are what your initial velocity in what x and what y direction. Okay. Now we want to write equation of motion and we want to find like what are the final velocities and what is the displacement, all these things. Okay. Let's write first equation here. That's what v is equal to what u plus 80. Let's write this is what in x direction. Okay. Then write final velocity in x direction will be equal to what? Initial velocity in x direction. Acceleration is already what? Zero. So this much only. And ux we know is what? How much? U cos theta. So it's very, very important. What is important that in x direction the velocity does not change. Horizontal velocity remains what? Constant. Yes. The velocity in x direction will not change at all. It remains always constant. Somebody asks you what is final velocity in x direction at any time. What the answer is initial only u cos theta only. It will not change. Why it's not changing? Because there is no force acting in what x direction. There is no acceleration. Body moves uniformly, right? And moves at a constant speed. Okay. Now let's talk on this side. Let's same equation write on this side, then what will happen? You write u is equal to what? V is equal to u plus 80. Let's write. So Vy, final velocity y direction, we got uy. What is uy? Obviously, we will learn u sine theta. And a is what? Yes, there, minus g and t. So this is the velocity in final direction at what? At any time. Yes, this is what changing we see, right? U sine theta term minus gt. So with time, this is what changing, correct? Okay. Now, what we want to do, we want to calculate few things. Okay. Yes. What things we want to calculate that what is the range, what is the maximum height achieved, and what is the time period of flight. These things we want to and we also want to calculate the main equations of the motion. So equation of motion I'll talk a little later. First, let me talk this basic thing. What is the range, what is the height, and what is the time period, right now? Okay. So let's talk about these things. Okay. So first we talk about let's talk about height itself we can talk. Okay, let's talk what is the maximum height achieved during this flight. Okay, or we can calculate first the resultant velocity at any time because velocity equation is already we wrote. So let's calculate resultant velocity first. Okay, so first point we're talking numerical. Okay, uh, resultant velocity. Okay, so write resultant velocity project after any time, right now? Yes. They're asking what is net velocity. Obviously, we have two velocities, so net velocity at any time will be equal to what? Obviously, velocity in x direction plus velocity in what? Y direction. That will be your answer. And answer already we have. This is one answer in x direction. That's what in y direction, right? So you know that these are two perpendicular. We have to add by vector rule. So what is the magnitude if you want, right? Obviously, what? Root a square b square plus 2ab cos 90. X and y are perpendicular, so cos 90 times is 0. So simply answer becomes like you can write vx square plus simply vy square, or this you want to write again, you can also write like this way, u cos theta square plus u sin theta minus gt and what whole square. This is what your resultant velocity at any time, correct na? Yes, resultant velocity, final velocity x and y direction separately you have learned from here itself. If they ask net velocity at any time, right, then you can write this. Okay, addition of these two velocities, and these are what perpendicular to each other. Okay, apart from this they can ask you the resultant angle made. Okay, you can write like this way, uh, angle made by resultant velocity with what you can talk horizontal. Okay, what is the resultant velocity? That you can write simply what tan theta. Tan theta or alpha you can write because theta we write for angle of projection symbol. So tan alpha is equal to what? Obviously velocity in what? Y direction, velocity in what? X direction. So velocity in Y direction, which is we have learned u sin theta minus gt divided by what? U cos theta. That gives the resultant velocity at angle at any time. Okay. Yes. After you have projected this. This is the first thing we have learned. What we have learned? The resultant velocity once more, right? Okay. Let's move on. Then let's calculate second question. We want to calculate what is the maximum height achieved during this flight. Okay, maximum height achieved, right? So how to find the maximum height achieved? Look in this picture once more. You want to calculate this h, yes? So you want to talk about this point. So this top point is what very interesting first. Okay, let me explain you what happens at top point. At top point, you know that there is no vertical velocity at all. There is no component of what velocity vertical direction. There's only what component what u cos theta is there. Okay, okay. Let me write it separately because this is very important. Here I'm writing. Please note it. Okay. At highest point, what happens? Okay, you can write separate. At highest point, what happens? Okay, at highest point during his flight, what happens? Your velocity, final velocity in y direction is what? Zero, and in x direction is there always because velocity is always constant. So somebody asks what is net velocity? What is the answer? U cos theta only. But what velocity becomes zero? That's you have to focus is what vertical velocity becomes zero at what highest point. Yes. Suppose in 1D motion also if you throw something straight upward at highest point, the velocity becomes zero, then start falling back, right? Exactly same thing is happening what here also. You throw from here, it reaches to highest point. At this point, the vertical component becomes what? Zero. Horizontal component is always there. So it's moving, still it's moving, keep in mind, moving what? Horizontally at highest point. With what velocity? U cos theta. So we want to calculate maximum height. So we can write this concept. You know that at maximum height, what happening? Maximum height, Vy is coming what? Zero. Correct? So if you write the third equation of motion in y direction, which equation? V square minus u square is what? 2s. Let's write this equation what? Y direction. So you can write like V y square minus u y square is equal to what? 2g and what? H. Okay. And g is always negative, you know, right now because throwing upward. So what is the velocity in y direction final? Is what? Zero. At highest point, at maximum height, what happens? This velocity is what? Zero. We make it zero. Uy already we know. How much we know? Initial velocity in y direction is called what? U square sine square theta, right? U sine theta minus 2gh. Okay, minus minus you can cancel. Then h is coming this answer. What is h coming? U square sine square theta by what? 2g. This is the maximum height achieved during the motion of this projectile in space. Maximum height achieved, right? Okay. Now, this is height, okay, or we call maximum height. Suppose you want to get the greatest height, okay, maximum height. You want to get h maximum for the same object, then directly depends on theta only. Your theta should be what? 90 degree, you know, right now? Yes. When you throw straight upward, okay, the height achieved will be maximum. And what is the h max if you want, right? Okay, this is a maximum height cell. People call it maximum height cell. Still, if you want to get maximum, still what angle you need? 90 degree. So you can write maximum is what? U square by what? 2g simply. Okay. Yes. This is second point we have learned. Find resultant velocity at any time and angle we have learned here. Then we learn what is the maximum height achieved. Okay. Okay. Now we want to calculate what is the duration of flight. Okay. Third point we want to learn is called duration of flight. How much time will take to cover your complete part? You launch a projectile from ground. When it come back to ground, how much total time it takes, right? So same concept we can write. Look, once more I'm telling, this is a projectile. When you're going to highest point, at highest point, your vertical velocity is what? Zero. Vy is what? Zero, you know, right? So listen carefully. Like already we have learned linear motion that if you throw an object straight upward, whatever time it takes to go highest point, same time it takes to what? Come back to the ground also, right? So exactly here, you throw object from here, whatever time it takes to go this point, that's called t. Then it takes same time to come from highest point to what? Again ground here, right? That also what t. So we can calculate first this. What is time taken to go the highest point? So look here, time taken to reach maximum height. Suppose you want to write this, okay? How much time will take to reach what? This point, right? You can write again your equation of motion. This v is equal to what? U plus at. In y direction, right? So we write by is equal to what? Uy minus what? Gt, correct? By is what? Again what? 0. Uy we know how much? U sine theta minus gt. So from your t is coming how much? U sine theta by what? G. This is what time taken to what? Reach the highest point. So we are trying to calculate what is the duration of the flight. Total time is what? Here from this point of launching to highest point is t, and highest point to ground is again what? T. So total time of flight t should be equal to what? 2 double of this, right? Now, so what is the answer? 2u sine theta by what? G. That will be your answer. This is called duration of the flight or time of flight, whatever you want to call. 2u sine theta by what? G. That's what your duration of the flight. Okay. Third answer we are given. Now let's move and we want to calculate fourth answer. That we want to calculate range. So already I told you what is range. We write capital R symbol. Range is simply what? Maximum horizontal distance, right? Now, distance between point of projection from where you are projecting your projectile and where it land. Point of projection and what? Point of what? Landing, right? Now, yes. So this distance is called what? Range. So look here once more this graph. You are launched from here. Then this distance is called what? Your range. Look here, range is a horizontal distance only. So how to calculate range? Horizontal distance, and we know that horizontal velocity is always constant. So it should be simply like horizontal velocity into what time. If you want to write complete equation like s is equal to what? Ut plus half at square in x direction. Then acceleration is what? 0. This term is 0. So s we calling r and ut. That horizontal velocity into what time? I should write here capital T because total time of flight you want to write. Okay. So let me clean this. Not just small t. Should not confuse capital T. Total time of flight. So ux already we know. Velocity in x direction. How much? U cos theta always. Time of flight also you have learned just now. 2u sine theta by what? G. So this we can also write like what? This way. You can write u square 2 sine theta cos theta by G. Or 2 sine theta cos theta also called what? Sine 2 theta, right? So u square sine 2 theta by G. This is called what? Your range. So once more writing clearly here, R is equal to what? U square sine 2 theta by what? G. This is called your range. Correct? Na? Okay. Suppose you want to get maximum range. Correct? Na? At what angle we should project our body so that the range we get is what? Maximum, right? Okay. So look here for R maximum, what we need? Your theta should be maximum. Sine 2 theta. So theta should be what? 45 degree. When theta is 45 degrees, sine 230 becomes what? 2 theta becomes 90 degrees, sine 90 is what? 1. That's your maximum value. So if you launch an object at what angle? 45 degree with respect to ground, then you will get what? Maximum range. And what is the value of R max? R max will be obviously what? U square by what? G. Correct? Yes. U square by what? G. This is what your fourth answer, right? Okay. Now what we can do, we write a relation between range and what height. A general relation, formula of both we know. So fifth point we're talking. So relation between what? Range and maximum height. So it's very simple. Two equations we have, just we put them together, equate them, we'll get the answer. Actually, I'm writing directly here. R tan theta is equal to what? 4h. If you know range, you can find height. You can know, if you know height, you can find range, or you know both know, then you can find the angle of projection. R tan theta is equal to 4 times of what? H. Correct? But sometimes what happens, they ask max max relation also. Like R max is what? Always double of what? H max. Look here. This is a range only, okay? Range and what? Height relation. Height is always maximum. So maximum range and what? Maximum height relation, okay? Double. How is coming? Remember, just write. Now only I wrote R max is what? You wrote U square by G. And I wrote H max is what? Remember, U square by what? 2G. Look here, I can show it. I wrote it here. Just take your this formula. Yeah, this height. So maximum height, we're making sine theta as what? 90 degree. And what? U square by 2G is coming, right? Okay. So this is the relation. Now actually, look here, how they ask this question. They have asked 2, 3 times in our exam. It's very simple also. How they ask? One question was asked like this way that they said a boy can throw a ball to a maximum straight height of what? 100 meter. A boy can throw a ball of what? Just 100-meter what? Straight upward, they said. Okay, maximum height. Then if he throw the same ball horizontally, what is the maximum distance he can throw? What is the answer? 200 meter. Once more, a boy can throw a ball to maximum height of what? 100 meter when he's throwing straight upward, right? Then same ball, if he throws horizontally, how much maximum distance he can throw? Horizontal means what? Your range, they are asking maximum range, means maximum horizontal distance is double of what? Your H max. So he can throw what? 200-meter horizontally, okay? Question they asking on this, then they'll talk about angle. Here, question on this, they will not talk about angle. Here, angle is there, so they'll talk angle, right? So you should not confuse between what these 2 points, okay? Okay, let's move to next point. So now 6 point we're learning the equation of motion. Okay, how we represent the equation of motion, complete equation. So let's write equation of what? Motion. So once more I'm telling, look here, x direction we are talking, then we're talking about y direction right here. So we were writing those equations. Here you said that no acceleration x is what? 0. Here you know acceleration there, that's called minus g, right? In y direction. So let's write the second equation of motion in both directions, then combine them. Look here. So what are you doing? S is equal to ut plus half at square. This equation we're writing x direction, then I write y direction. Let's write in x direction. S means what? Normal distance x. U means what? Velocity in x direction. That's what u cos theta already we know. Into what t. And this term is what? 0 because no acceleration. So this is what your equation of motion what? X direction, right? Now same equation let's write in y direction. S is what? Ut plus half at square. S means what? Y, vertical distance. U means velocity in what? Initial velocity in y direction. That's what? U sine theta into what? T minus half gt square. Yes, correct. So actually here what you did, we wrote separate in x direction, y direction. Now let's combine them. So you put the value from this equation to what here? You will put the value of what? You can put time value, okay? Yes. To time here, we'll get this answer. Look here, I'm writing here, y is equal to, I'm putting the value of time. So I'm getting u sine theta into time means what? Look, time from here is coming x by u cos theta. So it becomes x by u cos uh, u cos theta minus half g and t square means what? X square by u square cos square theta. Or if you simplify this, you get cancel here. Okay, let me change color so you can see clearly. I'm cancelling this term. U and u get cancelled. Sine by cos become tan theta. So this is the equation we're getting, main equation. We're getting x tan theta minus half. Look here, half g and u square, cos square, all are constant. Okay, cos square. That right clearly if you cannot see. So u square cos square theta into what? X square. So look at this is a complete equation of motion for a projectile. You see that everything is constant here. So you see that here x, y is coming proposed to what? X square. Y is proposed to x square. This is what? Equation of what? Parabola. This the graph will be what? Parabolic in nature, right? Yes. This represent what? Parabola, right? Equation of parabola. Y proposed to x square or x proposed to y square. Equation of parabola. So the shape of the curve or the path traced by a projectile is always what? Parabolic in nature. So this prove what? The shape or of path traced by a projectile is parabolic in what? Nature. Correct? Yes. So this equation is very, very important. Maximum questions we have to answer from here. Okay. And what we do, this equation you can write in one more format, one little simplified format that I'm writing here. What you do, if you take x tan theta here common, look, y is equal to what? I'm writing here, x tan theta. You take this common. Here we get what? 1. Then here, look here, this answer we can write in what? Range format. So how answer comes simply x by r. You take tan theta common here, then we get sine, cos, and cos square. That become what? Range only. This is second format, range format. Also, sometime they ask an exam. I will discuss some questions on this. Okay. Yes, this is the main equation format. So I'm reading once more. If you cannot see it clearly, y is equal to x tan theta minus half g by u square cos square theta and into x square. Or this format, range format, y is equal to x tan theta 1 minus x by r. Okay, this is what very, very important. So what I'm doing first, I'm writing all the possible points they can ask about this. Then I'll discuss question on these equations, right? Okay. So this was the 6th point we will learn. Now let's move on and learn the next point. So 7th point we're learning about what they can ask like about kinetic energy, momentum, and what velocities. Okay. So let's talk 7th about what kinetic energy. Very, very simple question they have asked in our exam. So how they ask, look here, you are launching projectile from here. Okay. So at this point, your velocity is what? U. At this point, your net velocity is what? U cos theta, you know. At this point, it land with what? Same velocity U only, right? Just direction opposite. Magnitude will be same. Now watch carefully. Suppose they ask what's the initial kinetic energy. Initial kinetic energy at point of launching is what? Half mu square. So you can call that E naught, right? Then they ask that kinetic energy at top point or at maximum height, right? Now, what is kinetic energy at this point? If they are asking, then what is the answer? K will be what? Half mass remains same, velocity is changing. What is net velocity at highest point? U cos theta. So kinetic energy becomes U square cos square theta. So this answer, kinetic energy at highest point, you can also write in terms of that. Initial velocity, right? At point of launching. You can write what simply E naught into what? Cos square theta. Like this they have asked in our exam. Kinetic energy at highest launching points was at this point of projection is what E naught. Then kinetic energy at this point, let's call that E, right now. Then how that E coming? Simply E square E naught into what? Cos square theta. Also, somebody asked that what is kinetic energy at this point? Kinetic energy at point of landing. If they ask what is kinetic energy at point of landing, same answer. What? Half mu square. Magnitude of velocity will be same, just directions what? Opposite, right? Yes. So these are the kinetic energy questions and very, very simple. Okay. Then next question they ask about change in velocity and change in momentum. So let's talk. I'm talking together both questions. So change in velocity they can ask you, and what momentum also they have asked in our exam. Very, very simple. So they can ask between 2 points generally. Okay. So I'm writing two case here. First case one is what? Between point of projection. I'm covering all type of like pattern of questions that they ask in exam. So between point of projection and what? Point of landing, right? They're asking what is change in velocity and momentum between what your initial point and what final point. So look here. This is your projectile path. You are firing from here, u velocity here, then roll components theta. You say this word u cos theta, x direction. Then you say this word u sin theta, right now? Yes. While landing, what happens? You know that the vertical velocity will downward component, but horizontal remains what exactly same, right? Not like this one. So your look here, I can write here like right. What is the initial velocity? Initial velocity obviously is what u cos theta in I direction plus u sin theta in what j direction, right? Yeah, I writing in vector form so you understand better. Then what is final velocity at point of launch, point of landing? Okay, final velocity will be what? Look here, obviously your horizontal velocity does not change, magnitude doesn't change, and direction also doesn't change. So it remains like this positive only. But vertical direction velocity becomes what downward. Initially it's what upward here at point of launching. Now it's what downward. So magnitude is same, but direction opposite. So writing minus u sine theta and what j direction, negative direction. So now somebody asks you what is change in what velocity, then you subtracting this minus that, you see that this horizontal velocity doesn't change, they get cancelled, so we get this answer what magnitude becomes 2u sine theta, yes or no? This minus that, so become minus, or we're taking magnitude only. This is about net change in velocity between your point of projection and point of what landing. Same thing here, they ask change in momentum, del p they asking. Then what, you know, momentum is what change in velocity into what mass. So same answer how you can write, just what 2 mu and what sine theta, that's what your magnitude of change in momentum. Correct? Hope you understanding this. This is what net answer given total. Sometimes they can make us fool. They can ask individual. What is change in what? Like velocity in x direction alone or in y direction alone. Suppose this question they are asking that what is change in velocity alone in x direction? What is the answer? Zero. Because velocity in x direction not changing. U cos theta, u cos theta, right? But same way they ask change it like velocity in what y direction, del u y, then what is the answer? Same answer, this much only, because velocity is changing in only in y direction, so it become 2u sine theta, this much only, right? So individually they ask, should not confuse. Change in x direction is always zero, only y direction does change. Same is for momentum also. Momentum in x direction will be what, change will be zero, and momentum is changing only in y direction, that's what your 2 mu sine theta, right? Magnitude. Look here, minus sign we are not writing, just be writing magnitude only, okay? So we don't worry. Because anyone you can take direction positive. Suppose initially you take positive, then final is what negative. This you take negative, then that's what positive. So it doesn't make any difference. Magnitude is only important. Now same question they can ask between what? Point of projection and what at highest point. These 2 points also they can ask, okay? So let's talk. So second case we're talking here, same question only, change in velocity and change in momentum they're asking. So between what point? Between point of projection, and what? Highest point. What's the velocity changing here? Let's see again the graph. Already I told you that the vertical velocity at this point, Vy is what, 0. There's only one velocity what? U cos theta horizontal, right? So what is initial velocity? Okay, initial velocity at what point of launching, same only, like u cos theta in x direction and u sin theta in what, j direction. That's initial. Final velocity is what, at highest point. Look here, horizontal velocity doesn't change, remains u cos theta I only, but vertical velocity is what, 0. There's no vertical component at highest point, so change in velocity becomes what, you take the difference, becomes simply what, u sin theta only, this much only the magnitude. Same they ask change in momentum also, what is the answer? Like mu sin theta, this is your magnitude. Yes, yes, horizontal velocity doesn't change anywhere. Yes, vertical is changing. Initially at point of launching this is a vertical velocity, but at highest point becomes what, 0. So yes, there is change happening, so you can write change in what, velocity, also you can write in change in momentum. Okay, so this is what your question about what change in momentum and change in what your velocity. Okay, so question number 9, they ask is not much popular, but they ask like something called angle of elevation, and also they ask angular momentum also. Look here. Okay, I'm writing here. This is the angle of elevation. What is this? Let me show you a picture. So what happens? This is our projectile. We are launched from here. It went like that and coming back to ground here. This is the highest point. So if you draw a straight line from here, from point of projection, right? A straight line you draw between what? Point of projection and, okay, let me change colors. This is better. This black line that I'm representing, right? This is the highest point, and the angle made by the highest point with respect to point of launching, this angle This is called angle of elevation. Do not confuse with this angle. That was angle of theta, the angle of projection, right? Alpha we're talking. This is called angle of elevation. You are at the highest point, correct? And the highest, when projectile is the highest point, what angle is making with what your point of projection? That's called your angle of what elevation. This black line. Okay. Look at this triangle. Okay. So we want to calculate this alpha, right? So it is very easy to calculate. This is what h, and this is what your obviously r by 2. If you want to calculate angle of elevation, how you will calculate? Say the tan of alpha is equal to simply what perpendicular by base in this triangle, perpendicular by h height, and base is what range by 2. So h r by 2, right? Now these things we know. Suppose sometimes height and range directly given, you can find alpha here, or you can write like this one. What is h? We know it's become u square sine square theta by 2g divided by range. Range means what? 2 u square sine theta cos theta by g, and this half also goes up, right? So you can cancel these terms. You can cancel all this, get sine, one sine cos remaining, u square get cancelled, getting simply tan theta by what 2. So now we have simple relation now. Either you get tan alpha is simply you can write what like 2h by r if you know, or you can write what tan theta by 2, where tan theta is the angle of projection. Okay, do not confuse between angle of elevation and angle of projection. Angle of elevation is what? When your projectile is at top point or highest point during its path, right now, what angle it subtend with what your point of projection. That's what your alpha. So it's different than what your angle of projection. Okay. Okay. Then one more question they ask here, angular momentum also they ask. Angular momentum of projectile when it is at highest point, right now? Highest point. When projectile is at this point, again at top point, then what's the angular momentum of this projectile with respect to what? Your point of projection, right now. With respect to this point, what is the your angular momentum? So look, it's very easy. Angular momentum formula is what? MVR, you know, right now. Yes, mass velocity into what? The R means what your perpendicular distance if you see in angular, right, in vector form, right? Mass is m only. Then what is the velocity at this point? At this point, you know, velocity is called only u cos theta, right? So m u cos theta into h, this distance, because you need perpendicular distance between point of projection. Okay, let me change color, see it better. So look here, if this point I'm talking, okay, this point of projection and that point, what's the perpendicular distance in these 2 points? That's obviously what your height h, right? So you can write h. So h, so that's what your simple formula right now. If they ask angular momentum, what is the answer? Mass of that projectile, then velocity at highest point is u cos theta into what? The height. Height formula we know, so you can write angular momentum also if you need, correct na? Okay, this was point number 10, question number 10. Then one question they ask something called what? Theory questions called complementary angles. Complementary angles. What happens now? There are always two angles at which what happens, range becomes what? Same. This is your projectile. Suppose you launch this an angle with what? Theta. It will come and fall here as angle theta. Suppose you launch this projectile, same projectile with another angle which is what? 90 minus theta, like this way, right now. There also what will happen? The range will be what? Exactly same. It will fall at the same point only. So that angle is nothing but what? 90 minus theta. In this case, what happens? Range becomes same. The time of flight and maximum height achieved, there will be different, but the range becomes what? Exactly equal. So these two angles are called what? Complementary angle. So I can write few words here. These are angles at which range is what? Same. And who are these angle? Obviously theta and what? 90 minus theta. For example, this question was also asked in the exam and very, very simple. Suppose I say I launch one project at 30°. I want to get same range. Then at what other angle I should launch? What is the answer? This is theta is 30°. Then 90 minus theta means 60°. If you launch, you will get exactly same range. R will be what? Same. But height and time of flight will be different. Okay, keep in mind. Also, like if I say one angle is 45°, the other angle will what? 50°, right? These are the pairs of complementary angles, right? Or I say like one angle I'm launching at 20°, then another you have to launch at 70° to get what? Same range. Okay? Hope you're understanding the complement. Also, what happens now? I tell you a shortcut here. Suppose that this take uh, first when you're launching at theta take t time, okay, the time of flight, and this take what t days. Then what happens? Always remember that t into 2 days is always proposed to what range only. This is very interesting also. Shorter to remember. One projectile launching at angle theta, right now, then time of flight was t. Then same projectile launch at another angle what complementary angle 90 minus theta and you're getting time of flight as t days. Then t into t days is proposed to what always range. Okay. This is also little important. You should remember this. Okay. Okay. So we have learned all the concept of what the oblique projectile motion. Okay. Means ground to ground projection. Okay. So now let's see some numericals on these. Okay. Mainly you would see numerical on the equation of what motion. Okay. Because other questions are direct questions. Okay. Let's see. So here we have question, and this question says that a ball is thrown from ground to clear a wall of height 3 meter. Okay. At a distance of 6 meter and falls at distance of 18 meter from the point of projection. Find the angle of projection. Look here, understand this question. They said there is a wall. This is the wall. Okay, there is a wall, and height of this wall is given to what? It's not maximum height, the general height. Suppose y is given, how much given? 3 meter, and this wall is a distance of what? 6 meter from here, and where your ball is falling at distance of what? 18 meter from point of projection. So look, what is given to you? R given to what? Your 18 meter to you. Y given to what? 3 meter. General Y given, not maximum height, and X given what? 6 meter. So they are asking your angle of projection. So you know range, distance, and horizontal, vertical, both distances are given. So you can write this formula. Y is equal to what? You can write x tan theta 1 minus x by r. This you can write. Okay. So y is given what? 3 meter. Correct. X given what? 6 meter. Tan theta we need 1 minus x is what? 6 meter. R is given what? 18 meter. So this goes 1 by 2 is equal to what? Tan theta. And here we get 1 by 3. And this what? 1. So 1 minus 1 by 3 is 2 by what? 3. Correct. Okay. So tan theta simply becomes what? 3 goes up and 2 comes down. Or you say theta will be equal to what? Tan inverse of 3 by 4. That's your angle of projection. So your general height is given, general height of the, not maximum height. Okay. General distance, x distance given, y distance given, range given. So you can write this relation, right? Easy. Okay. Let's see next question. So this question says that the equation of a projectile is given by this equation. Okay. Root 3x minus gx square by 2. Find the angle of projection right now. So this equation again you can write in same format only. What format? Your y is equal to what? Again x tan theta, correct, minus you can write like 1 by 2 g u square cos square x square. This formula I'm writing, not this formula like previous one, not this x tan theta, because you can write this also, but here that will look easier. Okay, if you take it. So look here, if you compare them, we need this angle of projection. Look at this term, this term. Okay, 3 root 3x. Okay, here is what your x. So means remaining root 3 is what your tan theta only. So tan theta is simply equal to what? Root 3. Okay, theta is equal to what? Tan inverse of root 3. That you call what? 60 degree right now. Yes, that's your answer. So you can compare it what? This format of the equation, right? We have two format, this format or that format. Okay, for this, right? Okay, let's see next question. So the equation of projectile is given by this equation again, y is equal to 16x minus x square 4. They are asking find the range. Okay, you want to find range. So look here again your format. Y is equal to what? X tan theta 1 minus xr. Alright. You can arrange that equation into this format. How? Look here, y is equal to what? 16x minus x square by 4. You take x tan theta as common. This is your x tan theta right now. This means 16 into x you take common. What you get? 1 minus x by, you have to multiply 16 here. 16, so become what? 64. Now compare this with what your standard equation. Compare these two equations, right? These are what your x tan theta. So x by this is called what your range. So range will be obviously what? 64 meter SI system. Same. Okay. No problem. Okay, let's see one more question. So this question says that projectile is projected with initial velocity of 6i and 8j. Initial velocity given in vector form, g is given 10. Find the horizontal range. Range you want to find. Range formula either you can write what? You need horizontal velocity into what? Time of flight, or complete formula become like u square sine 2 theta by what g, right? Now this we need. So look what is given to us. What is given is this given. Initial velocity in x direction is given, which is called u cos theta, that's given what 6, and this is given u sine theta, that's given what your 8. Correct. So you can find your angle. This is the point of launching. Suppose this is your theta. So if you divide these two equations, this and this, right? You'll get what tan theta is equal to what? Obviously what? 8 by what? 6 means what? 4 by what? 3. So tan theta. So what we need? We need sine theta to find what range. So look in this triangle. Okay. Let me change color. See better. So in this triangle, look here. What we know in this triangle? We know horizontal. This is 6, or you say 4 also. Let's write 4. Sorry, 3. Okay, I'm drawing here again. If you do a mistake, look here. This is the triangle. Okay, this is theta. Vertical, this is 4. This horizontal, we know 3. We need sine theta. Sine theta is called what? Look here. Perpendicular by hypotenuse. That's called your sine theta. Perpendicular means what? This hypotenuse means that side. So that side becomes how much? 4 and 3. Square root of 4 and 3, that becomes what? 5. 4 square means 16 plus 3 square means what? 9. That's what your root 25 is 5. So what is sine theta? Obviously, sine theta in this triangle will be what? Perpendicular by hypotenuse means what? 4 by what? 5. That's what your sine theta. Correct? Okay. Now look here. Let's find range. What is the range? You say that u square. Net velocity we need first, right now. U is what? Total velocity. What is total velocity? You add these two by vector rule. So root 6 square plus 8 square. How much becomes? Root of 100. That becomes what? Your 10. 64 plus 3600. Okay. So initial velocity is what? 10 into 10. Then sine 2 theta. Correct now? What is theta? Look here, sine theta is coming directly what? This much. Correct now? Yes. So sine 2 theta we need. Okay, you can put here 2 times of. Okay, this is simply coming. Okay, what I do, make it more easier. Okay, you write in this form because we don't know perfect angle value here. We don't know. So what you can write? Open this equation and write like this one. The range will be equal to what? U square of 2 times of sine theta and cos theta by what g. That will be more easier. Similarly, like you find sine theta, you can write cos theta also. What is cos theta? Base by hypotenuse. Base means 3, hypotenuse is what? 5. So that's what your cos theta. So these two values we can put here. Let's put. Velocity is what? 10 into 10. Total velocity you have to put, not x and y velocity. Okay, total velocity found from here. Okay, 2 times of sine theta you wrote what? 4 by 5, and cos theta you wrote what? 3 by 5 divided by g means what? 10. So 110 you can cancel it here. Correct? 5 goes 2 times, right? So how much coming? 2 into 4, 4 into 16. So 16 means 48 by 5. 48 by 5 meter. That will be your answer. Okay. Yes. SI system. So these are the all questions based on what? Your motion in a uh, or you say it's an oblique motion. Now we have a special case of this that's called what? Your horizontal projectile motion. So let's learn that. Okay, the second type of motion is called what? Horizontal projectile motion. Okay. Here what we do, we go to some height, like this is a tower of height what? H from ground, right? So you go to tower and you throw some object from here what? How? Horizontally. Initial direction of throwing should what? Exactly horizontal U. This is the initial velocity. You're going to a height, say a tower, and you throw a ball horizontally. Then how this ball will follow path like this, exactly same just like last time, only parabolic path. Okay, it will fall here. Correct. So again, you want to calculate here same things only. What is the like equation of this projectile motion? What is the range? What is time of flight? All these questions. Okay. So look at this distance is again called what? Range. Where it falls, that's called what? Range. Maximum height generally already we know because the tower we are throwing, so height we know. We have to calculate time of flight and this thing. Okay. So again, the rule is same actually, like what we did last time, x direction and y direction. Okay, same rule. So again, what happening in x direction, what happening in y direction? X direction again, no force. No force means what? X is what? 0. Here force is there. Yes, gravity force is there in this case, vertical direction. Yeah, gravity force. So acceleration there, Ay is there. Yes, that's what there plus g, because the body is falling vertically downward. Or so g acceleration is what? Positive. No force here means no change in velocity. Velocity remains constant, right? Velocity remains constant in x direction, right? And what is the initial velocity ux if you talk? U only, because we're throwing horizontally only. So that's what also your uy only. So velocity will not change in x direction, always remains what? Same only. Correct? U only. Let's talk about velocity in y direction. What's the initial velocity in y direction, people? Zero. Why zero? Because we're throwing horizontally. So there is no initial component of velocity in what? Vertical direction. But if you want to find final velocity, yes, you can find uy is equal to uy plus what? 80, right now. So look, by will be equal to, this time is zero, a is g, so into what? gt. This is the velocity in what? Vertical direction at any point. Correct? Na? So velocity in x direction at any point is always constant, u only. But in vertical direction is changing, g into 2 is simply. So let's calculate small questions, 4, 5, same way only. First question, what is the net velocity, resultant velocity at any point, right now? Resultant velocity, correct? Resultant velocity, correct? At any time, right? You want to get resultant velocity, final velocity? Yes, you can calculate. You just add what? Vx plus Vy, right? Vector addition. So again, these two velocities are perpendicular to each other. So you have to add by vector roots. So you can write simply u square plus what? Gt square. That's the velocity at any point, right? Yes. Then resultant angle also you can calculate like last time. All equations are same only. So resultant angle is what? Resultant angle. So what is the answer? Let's call it tan alpha. What is the answer again? Velocity in y direction, velocity in what? X direction. What is the answer? Gt by u. That gives what? Resultant angle made by the angle made by the resultant velocity with what? Horizontal. Right now, that's the velocity. Okay. Next question was we want to calculate the range and time. Correct? Na? So let's calculate first time of flight. What is time of flight? Time of flight. So what we do, let's write this equation what? Y direction. S is equal to what? Ut plus what? Half at square. In y direction, we're writing S means your vertical distance h. Initial velocity is what? 0 plus half gt square. So that's your time of flight. What is the answer? Simply 2h by what? G. Now this is a time formula, but it's very interesting, very important. Okay, why? Because see that the time you throw a ball from tower, this is your tower again, let's see, and you go to this tower and you throw a ball horizontally with velocity u, right? Then the time to come down does not depends upon what your horizontal velocity, at what velocity you are throwing. Suppose you throw at very high velocity, then ball can go like this far, little far and fall like this, but time will be exactly same, t. Or you just drop also, like 1D motion, just drop, u is 0, still will take what? T time. This already I discussed with you also. So the time taken to come down does not depends upon what your horizontal velocity, at what velocity you're throwing. If you throw at very high velocity, the ball will go little higher. This is what your range will be increased, but time to come on ground will be exactly same. So write properly here that the time is exactly same at all velocities. You throw at any horizontal velocity a ball, it will come the same time on the ground. Okay. Okay. Then you want to calculate third point, what? Range. At what distance it falls? Range. Range again a horizontal distance. We need horizontal velocity ux into what? Time of flight. Ux is what? U only, and time we know is what? 2h by g. So that's what your range formula. Correct. And here don't talk like maximum, because range is always maximum only, because all things are constant here. Okay. So if you want to increase range, there's only one option. What? Just increase your velocity. There is no angle ideas. You don't need to worry. Okay. Yes. Okay. Range we have calculated. Apart from range, what they can ask you is this, that no, I already had discussed in what your 1D motion also, that question where I summarized. Like look here, generally this is not asked to us, little difficult, but look here, you are on the tower. Instead of throwing horizontally, you can throw like at some angle upward, like this one. You velocity u with angle of what? Theta. They can throw what? Downward also with an angle of theta with what? Horizontal. Remember? So here how the equation look in this case, when you're throwing upward, right, an angle, then this will go like a projectile and fall like that way. But what's the equation meant? You write h is equal to what? Remember, minus u sine theta into t plus half gt square. This equation already I had discussed in what? 1D motion also, if you remember. Right now, you're throwing at some angle. Same if you're throwing downward, this, then how the equation look? U sine theta into t plus half gt square, right? Yes. At angle, if you throw, then what happens? Okay. So everything we have discussed now about projectile motion. In this chapter, what we have a small topic there that's called what relative motion that I'll teach in next lecture. So what we can do now, let's practice few questions on this horizontal projectile motion also. Okay. 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 But before this, I forget one small thing that we have to write the equation of motion also. So I'm writing it here. When you write the equation like in x direction, y direction, look what will happen. I'm writing it here. Okay. Watch carefully. X direction, how the equation look? S is equal to ut plus s is equal to ut plus half at square, right? S we calling x, u is u only, and t. So this is the equation only in x direction because this time acceleration is what 0. Same equation right in y direction. The how look? Y is equal to initial velocity is 0. So just half gt square, right? This much only. Okay. This is a velocity equation what y direction. So we combine them. Let's put the value of time from here. Time is what x by u. The equation becomes half g x square by u square. This is the equation of motion for what? Your horizontal projectile motion. Also, you see that again y is proportional to what? X square, right? Yes. Again, equation y proportional to x square means again it's a parabolic path only, right? Now? So doesn't matter is what oblique projectile motion or horizontal projectile motion, both case that path trace will be what parabolic in nature. Okay, done. Okay, so this was your fourth point. Write equation of motion properly and write this equation. Okay, yes, same only. Okay, now we want to do some one or two problem on this. So let's move to the problem. So look at this problem. A particle is projected horizontally with the initial velocity of 20 meter per second from top of a tower. After what time velocity will be 45 degree to the initial direction of the projection? They're saying after what time the direction of the final velocity will be what 45 degree to the initial. This is the angle given. So resultant angle of a velocity, remember tan alpha is equal to what? Velocity in vertical direction by horizontal means gt by what u. This is given to you 10:45. Okay, 10:45 is equal to g. Time they asking by initial velocity. Okay, is given 20. You can put the value here. G is what 10 into t by what 20. This goes 2 time. So 10:45 is 1. So time comes how much? Obviously 2 seconds. So resultant angle was given to you. They asking that what's time? Yes, you can calculate, no problem. Okay, let's see next question. Let's say a ball rolls off horizontally from top of a stairway. Okay, okay, with the initial velocity of what u. The height of each stair is what h, and the width is what b. Ball just hit nth stair. Find what n. Correct? Na? So staircase is given to you like this way. So they said one ball is rolling off from the top from here, right now, like this way, with velocity. So it will fall obviously like that way, hit some part stair like here. Okay, correct. So they're asking that what's the number of the stair, at what stair it will hit. So n we have to calculate, and height of each is given h, width is given what b. So let's write equation of motion. Remember, equation of motion x direction is called what u into t, and in y direction is called what half g t square like that, right? Right. Okay, look here. What we know is this. First, we know let's calculate what is total horizontal distance travel and what is total vertical distance travel in this case. Okay. So look, what is x distance? X means what? Horizontal distance. One stair has a width of b, and how many stairs we have similar? N stairs, right? So what is total x distance? N into what b is equal to what? U into t. That's what equation one. Correct. Y is what like this one. What is the vertical distance? Height of each stair is what h, and we have n stairs. So what is total height? N h is equal to what? Half g t square. So either you can write like this one and solve these two, or directly also you can do, because you wrote this equation combined. How you wrote? Y is equal to what? You wrote half g, then you wrote what? X square by what? U square. This you wrote, right? Yeah. So directly you can write this equation also, your choice, because we don't need time. Time we don't know, so you're removing time. Time you have to place from either from here to here, or you can do directly like this well. So directly I'm doing what is y distance vertical? N into what h is equal to half g is okay. What is x square? X square means that distance. How much x? N into b. N square into b square by what? U square. That's your answer. So one n you can cancel it here. Then what's the n remaining? That becomes 2 times of u square into what? H upon g into what? B square. That will be the number of the stairs or steps where it will what? Fall. Correct? Okay. One more question I remember, like this way it was asked in exam. They said there's a water sprinkler is there. In lawn we use water sprinkler to sprinkle water like this one all direction. Okay. So what happens? This made the area like a circular form, right? Now, suppose there is a sprinkler here, then water goes in all directions like that one. So this question was asked that if the velocity of water was given u, then they said what is the maximum area it can cover, it can wait. Area means what? Look, area we are talking means what? Pi r square means you need radius, and radius means what? You are simply range here. But what type of motion this? This is your fountain. Water goes and fall like this, right now. Yeah, so this is maximum distance we need. That's what your range only. And what is maximum range? People we know u square by g. So what is the maximum area it can base? That's what your pi r square. Pi is pi r square means u power 4 by what g square. That will be the maximum area it can base. Pi r square. R radius. Radius means what? Simply range here on both sides, right? Correct. Okay. So the projectile motion we have done completely. Please practice the questions on this. Okay. A small topic is remaining. That's called what? Relative motion. The reaching in next lecture. Okay. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.